Hello everyone, how's it going? So Subnautica. Subnautica is a very popular survival game, and it's not my cup of tea. I tried playing it. I got it free through I think Epic Games. There's a little black bar there. Let's fix that. There we go. And I'm scared of the open ocean. I saw this game as a horror game, and when I saw the Leviathans in YouTube videos, I was like, nope, I'm not playing this. I don't care what people say. I'm more scared of this than I am of, like, say, Pet Cemetery, and that movie screwed me up as a kid. Yeah, I watched that as a kid. Oof. But yeah, but a lot of people did enjoy this game for all the right reasons. It looks like a very fun. That right there, that scared the crap out of me. I can't deal with that. But yeah, a lot of people were excited for the sequel of this game. There was an expansion, I believe it was called Below Zero. I don't again really follow this stuff, but yeah, but now we're seeing that the reason that the sequel got delayed is that the publishers and the developers are pointing finger that it's your fault. And I definitely did not see this coming. Like, why is it that when a game is ultra successful, the next sequel always has a huge amount of issues? Like Halo 2, Dragon Age 2, Mass Effect 2, like, it's just like it's always problems. Just let the developers cook for the sequel, and if they can't do the same thing, like, let them move on to another project. I know that's a very simplified way of looking at things, but it's almost like there's a curse for success when it comes to this stuff. Former Subnautica 2 leadership soon Krafton after firing. Now, Krafton is a South Korean publishing company. They do a bunch of indie games. They also publish PUBG. I'm not sure if they develop it, but they do publish that. I know that for a fact. They also did the Callisto Protocol, which that game flopped really hard because Dead Space Remake was vastly better. Like, that was ironic. Like, the creator of Dead Space lost to his own creation. And that, like, if you want a really good space sci-fi game, please go play Dead Space. It is so amazing. But yeah, they're also behind that, so they're pretty big. They also purchased Tango Gameworks after Microsoft terminated the studio. They got most of the staff because it was after they were looking for jobs, but they didn't get everyone. A lot of people did move on to other studios. And if you're hoping, like myself, for an Evil Within 3, it's not going to happen because Microsoft still owns that IP, and I don't know. I think they should just give it to them like Microsoft gave Remedy Entertainment. I think Remedy purchased Alan Wake from them, but Remedy didn't have Alan Wake until like very recently. But yeah. The former leadership at Subnautica 2 developer Unknown Worlds is soon the game publisher Krafton. Just hours after Krafton released an email blaming former executives Charlie Cleveland, Max McGuire, and Ted Gill for the game failing to meet its early access deadline. Yeah, this game was believed supposed to come out in like 2024 for early access. The game's former director has taken to Reddit to announce the lawsuit. So here's the lawsuit. Hello everyone, it continues to be an explosive and surreal time for Subnautica team and community. None of this is what we wanted, but we truly appreciate the amazing support we've gotten from everyone. It means a lot to us, especially now. I wrote last week, we know in our souls the game is ready for early access. That's how we roll, and we'd like nothing more than for you to play it. Game devs live for this, but it's not currently under our control. We've now filed a lawsuit against Krafton. The details should eventually become at least public. You all deserve to know the full story. Suing a multi-billion-dollar company is painful in public and possibly protected ways was certainly not on my bucket list. But this needs to be made right. Subnautica has been my life's work, and I would never willingly abandon it or the amazing team that has poured their hearts into it. As for the ear out, the idea of Max, Ted, and I wanted to keep it all for ourselves is totally untrue. I'm in the industry because I love it, not for riches. Historically, we've always shared our profits with the team and did the same when we sold the studio. You can damn sure we'll continue with the earnout bonus as well. They deserve it for all their incredible work trying to get this game into your hands. Stay tuned, Charlie. So basically they're saying they're full of shit and we plan to sue them, get the money, and distribute it among the community. Now, this is a David and Goliath story in a lot of ways. A lot of people I feel like will side with the developer when it comes to this, but for me, I wait until everything is settled before we have a uniform position, because it's the classic house line. Everyone lies. I'm not saying this guy's a liar. Like, everyone does believe they're right. That's a quote from Kingdom Hearts for Axel. But I strongly believe you wait until everything is settled before things start to manifest and the truth gets out there. But for Krafton, they say the completely opposite story, and they're pointing fingers, like I said. Krafton says former Subnautica 2 leadership abandoned their responsibilities. Krafton, the publisher behind Subnautica 2, has responded to the concerns and claims circulating regarding the state of the game. Recent leadership changes at its developable Unknown World, and the reported 250 million, that is a lot of money, 250 million payout planned for the developers later this year. In a scathing email sent to the Insider Gaming, Krafton says that the former leadership Charlie Cleveland, Max McGuire, and Ted Gill at the studio abandoned the responsibility entrusted to them, leading to their dismissal. That is a huge damning argument. Like, if they have that in writing, dude, it's going to be hard. Plus, these are two separate countries, like, so it's going to be, the legal battles is going to be substantial. Subnautica 2 was originally planned for an early access launch in early 2024, but the timeline has been significantly delayed. The Korean publisher said Krafton made multiple requests to Charlie and Max to resume their roles as game director and technical director, respectively, but both declined to do so. If they have this in writing, that will be, like I said, that will be, damn. In particular, following the failure of Moonbreaker, Krafton asked Charlie to devote himself to the development of Subnautica 2. However, instead of participating in the game's development, he chose to focus on personal film project. He didn't say that here. The statement continued that Krafton believes that the absence of the core leadership has resulted in repeated confusion, direction, and significant delays in the overall project schedule. Regarding the reported 250 million payout, Krafton says that they have dedicated 90% of the earnout to 3 former executives. The payout was set the expectations that they would demonstrate leadership and active involvement in the development of Subnautica 2. What about Subnautica 2's future? Despite the changes at the top of the company, Krafton says that dedicating creating the best game it can for its players means making decisions to delay Subnautica 2's early access into 2026. Dear God. Subnautica 2 has been and continues to be actively developed by a dedicated core team who share genuine passion, accountability, and commitment to the game, they said. We deeply respect their expertise and creativity and will continue to provide full and unwavering support, enabling them to focus solely on developing the exceptional game you deserve. That's just PR speak. They have to say that or stock and investors will literally drop out. Krafton adds that it's committed to fairly compensating all the employees who are still at the Unknown Worlds. We have continuously and tirelessly contributed to Subnautica 2's development. We believe that the dedication and effort of this team are at the very heart of Subnautica's ongoing evolution, and we affirm our commitment to provide the rewards they were promised, they said. So, honestly, this reminds me, it's not similar, but it reminds me of the lawsuit between Infinity Ward, between Jason West and Zach, I believe his name was Zach Zampella, but Vince Zampella, I apologize. These guys were the people who made Call of Duty what it is today, and they were denied royalties for the project and eventually left. They joined EA. Well, technically Respawn, I believe Respawn Entertainment is independent. If it's not, let me know. But they went on to do Titanfall, and then Activision Blizzard tried to sue them for poaching staff, and it's just a lot of stuff. But it reminds me a lot of what's happening, like big companies and developers just butting heads at one another about what's going on here. So not exactly the best case scenario for Subnautica fans. As I wrote last week, we are soul of the game. I already read that in the lawsuit right here. So, yeah. Cleveland then touched on the 250 million, yada, 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 totally untrue. Love for riches and everything. So, right now, both of them are blaming each other. One is blaming the developer who said they were promised this money if they shipped it, they didn't do it, and instead used the money for personal projects. And the other is saying, no, they're the reason that this happened, and as far as I can tell, there's no exact information of what exactly happened between why they left. Like, maybe I'm reading this completely wrong or I'm that stupid, but with Krafton, they literally said that they did it because of they chose to focus on a personal film project instead of the game, but here it doesn't seem like they have an exact reason of why they left. If there was, tell me, but I think he would write it here. But then again, this is a lawsuit, and the last thing you want to do is show all your cards in a lawsuit. You have to be very close to the chest when it comes to this type of stuff and limit as much information as you can. The best case scenario is just not to talk about it until everything is settled. Like, well, I was going to use Billy Mitchell versus Carl Jobs, but in that case, Carl Jobs didn't tell us what exactly he was being sued for, and it only came out until the end of the lawsuit when we found out the reason was that he said something to Billy that he shouldn't have, and a lot of people turned their back on him, including myself. Like, yeah, he didn't say why he was being sued. We all thought it was because he cheated at Donkey Kong, but that wasn't the case at all. But right now we have a massive lawsuit, and it seems the community is behind them. Of course, they're going to be behind them. These are the developers who did make Subnautica, and it's Subnautica subreddit, so of course they're going to love whatever they say, but I'm the type of person to wait and see. Like, I like to wait and see until everything is on the table, all the cards, and the decision is made. Then you can offer a concise opinion, because now you have the evidence to basically decide, okay, who's in the right and who's in the wrong. But it's never 100% one or the other. It's usually like a lot of mix of gray area. Like what happened with the Dark and Darker situation, where I believe it came out that they did indeed they did take assets from the publisher they left from. Like, they thought the idea was really good, they chose not to follow through with it, the publisher, and they took it and made Dark and Darker. That's what I got out of it. But in this situation, it is a David and Goliath situation, but wait and see, I guess. Like, I don't want to take sides until everything is settled, though. But tell me what you think in the comments below. Like, with the situation that it's in, I would like to actually hear from Subnautica 2 fans. Like, will you still play the game regardless? Is this like a done thing? Like if they made, like with Konami Metal Gear, now that he doesn't work on Metal Gear anymore. Granted, Metal Gear Survive wasn't exactly a great game, but did that influence your decision if key figures are just not working on the game? Or do you wait and see if the game is good, or are you just completely done? Like, I feel like more or less that the Subnautica fan base is the one who has a lot to lose in this, because if this is just it, it's not going to be pretty. But that's the video. Like, sub, and share if you care to, and if you don't, thank you for reaching the end. I do appreciate it. Goodbye. Have a good day.